called for legal mail. And I'm thinking, like, is this a mistake? Like, I don't got no legal shit going on. You know, I didn't have kids at the time, didn't have no child support. So I go down there, I open the letter, and it says, your appeal has been accepted. This is your lawyer's name, and here's your court date.
Damn.
And I was like, no fucking way.
All right, man, we here with a special guest, my boy THUMPZ, man, rocking with THUMPZ.
You already know.
Yes, sir. So we're gonna chop it up today, man. Get some real knowledge. We've been having this planned out for about like over a month.
Yeah, like a month, huh?
So we finally made it happen. You know, we had to push some shit aside, but we made it happen. So the first question, just tell us a little about your life, man. Like a little bit about you.
So, I'm born and raised Sacramento. You know what I'm saying? I was born in Sutter Hospital. You know what I'm saying? I grew up right around this park too. That's why I like coming to this park a lot. I grew up right there on 4th and T, in this little fucking townhouse thing. But we moved around a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't know it when I was young, but my moms and pops, they was on drugs. They was tweaking and shit. But you know, to a little kid, you don't see that shit. You just go on with them. So we bouncing from spot to spot. We went from over here to Detroit Boulevard off of Meadowview. We was living in the off of Lippy Parkway and G Parkway. I went to Parkway Elementary. You know, we stayed in the Gardens for a minute by Amherst. I went to Gady. Now it's called Rosa Parks, but back in my day, it was Gady.
I know that's it.
Yeah. I went there. I went to Burbank. You know what I'm saying? I never lasted long in that motherfucker. But yeah, I grew up all over South Sac, man, and you know, I thought I had it good, right? Cause like I said, my moms and pops, they was doing drugs, but I didn't see that. They was like functional tweakers, or especially my dad. He had his own business and all that. And I was heavy on the baseball. You know, I was playing for Airport Little League, Parkway Little League or whatever. But one day my dad, he goes to prison when I'm like 9 years old. And I was so young, you know, nobody told me what happened and this and that. But he's gone, and my mom, you know, she can't sustain the house and pay the bills because she was, you know what I'm saying, tweaking right along with him. He was the only motherfucker making money. So, boom, we had to move back to my nana's, and, you know, we started jumping around. And, you know, after that, once you lose a parent, especially a father, you know, that's somebody in place that's supposed to be guiding you and educating you on how you're supposed to move.
Yeah.
I lost that. I didn't have no guidance, no nothing. And you know, in Sacramento, especially in South Sac, you ain't got no guidance. You run around with young motherfuckers in the neighborhood that got the same, you know, damn near same predicament, same household as you. Birds of a feather finna flock together. So
100%.
Motherfuckers start gang banging and, you know, choosing sides and all that, you feel me? And I got into gang banging, and it went from fighting and, you know, all that shit, school fights, it elevated to motherfuckers rocking with pistols, and, you know, you just going with the flow, you feel me? And I ended up, you know, shooting two people actually, catching 2 attempted murders, you know, getting sentenced to 30 years, 8 months, 2 strikes.
Damn,
you know, at 16, yep. I did 12 years straight. Got locked up when I was 16, man. I didn't get out till I was about 28.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so you touched up on a good answer. I like that though. You gave, cause I had questions on questions.
Yeah.
So you touched it up good. It's good to have a story like yours because there's other kids watching. You get on other people watching. I know for sure. I'm pretty sure that you would be like, bro, that shit ain't worth it.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Nah,
like,
for sure I say that shit ain't worth it, you know?
But at the end of the day, it's like I say, I feel like you can still be you and still live like you want to live without the other shit going on. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm saying, going to 12 years. Like, man, I know you miss it. You probably went in with before iPhones was out damn near.
Yeah. Nah, bro, like I'm talking about I checked my MySpace before I got locked up. You feel me? Like I'm lightweight OG.
Yeah.
So my first smartphone I touched in prison. I had to send a kite back to the homie like, hey, how do I even work this? You know, I'm used to texting when you gotta find hit the number for however many letters you need or whatever. You feel me? Like, yeah, that's my era, bro. But you know, I know I got a lot of young life looking at me, you know, when I go to events or car shows, I get motherfuckers, you know, taking pictures and shit, and, you know, I'm rocking with thumbs, this and that. I'll sign shit for them, you know, I'll give them some game if they want to pull me to the side, you feel me? And I really, you know, what good is my knowledge or what I've been through if I don't pass it on and show motherfuckers you can overcome obstacles. Obstacles gonna come in life, you know?
Yeah, 100%. So and how you said, so me personally, My mom was on drugs. I grew up with a mom that was on drugs. No dad at all. I had no dad at all. So for me, it was like everything was on my mama's shoulders.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? So how did, like, you said a little bit, it was hard. But, like, what was it that affected you the most when dad got locked up? You said at 9, right?
Yeah.
What was that? Like, how did that fit? Did it feel like everything was on your shoulders at that point? Because at 9, 10, you already ripping around the streets at 10, 11. You get what I'm saying? Me, I was not ripping around the street, you know, out and about, getting in trouble. You know what I'm saying? How did that affect you, though? Like, what was it that, like, did it feel like it was an extra someone on your back? You know what I'm saying? Because now it's like, you're the only boy, right?
Yeah.
So now it's like, man, my dad in jail. So now it's like, what's next, son?
Yeah, I got an older sister too. She's 6 years older than me, but she got pregnant young, like at 16, you know, so she was, you know, dealing with that. She wasn't living with us at the time, but I ain't gonna lie, it didn't feel like nothing was on my shoulders because I think I was too young to realize, like, man, I gotta step up in dad's place and help my mom. I think the way I was looking at it, or the way, you know, my emotions and all that took me towards, was I was sad. I was lost. I was like, you know, it felt like my world crumbled because my dad, that was my best friend. He's the motherfucker who taught me how to throw a football, how to do a backflip. You know, he was the one that took me to my games. The one, you know, he was really my only best friend. You feel me? So when he left, it was just like, just nothing but sadness. And that sadness turned into anger. I already had anger issues. You feel me? So, but the way my mom handled it, I couldn't try to take over, or I couldn't try to help her because she started running the streets. You feel me? Like, she got on drugs even harder. And, you know, I'm talking about, it's points where I'm walking at 1 a.m. to the dope spot, you know what I'm saying, where we stayed at, just to go find her and tell her I'm hungry. Yeah. You know, I was probably old enough to cook something, but I think that yearning for just that, you know, I needed a hug or something, you feel me? Like, I'm going through some shit, but I didn't know how to say that, you know?
Now, that shit deep. Like, I tell a lot of people, like, especially with me growing up, bro, I like everything you're saying up to the parent part, like, not having a dad after a certain time, and then mom was on drugs, bro. I understand that. Nigga, my mom, nigga, was on a stairway, nigga, nodding off, nigga, on drugs. Like, so then, nigga, I got meetings with teachers, nigga, she nodding off with the teachers, nigga. So it played an impact in my life. But now, like, now me and her hella cool. You get what I'm saying? We better than ever now that we live together. You get what I'm saying? So it's crazy that, like, and a lot of kids now growing up, actually, it seems like it's getting a little bit better. Like, within, like, parents, like, not as bad on drugs.
Yeah, for real.
You get what I'm saying? So that's good, because everybody need that parent in their life, bro. That's why, like, that's another question I want to ask you after is, I see that you just had a baby girl. You know what I'm saying? A girl dad. I'm a girl dad.
Yeah,
so
the best, the girl dad gang, you feel me?
Yeah, so it's really the best. So, like, within that, like, how has that been for you? How has like having a baby, like, how has it impacted your life?
Man, I've never seen, you know, something so precious and something that, you know, completely depends on me. You know, when I look at my daughter and I see her smile and I see the way she's growing and, you know, how she recognizes you and recognizes me and shit like that, you know, that shit's rewarding, bro. I never got a chance to see parents do what parents needed to do, so it feels like, you know, this is my chance to shine and show my daughter how you supposed to be raised, you feel me? Yeah. You know, so, man, I love it. I love it. It's sleepless, but, you know, fuck it. I drink coffee. I got the Red Bulls going, so I'll be all right.
As long as you in there, you know, get rocking with them, you in there getting push-ups in.
You know, I be telling my little nephew, bro, I be trying to game him up like, man, you know how bad I wish I didn't have to do shit? Like, you know how bad I wish I didn't have to get up and do this to pay the bills? Like, bruh, you know, enjoy being a kid. A lot of motherfuckers want to grow up fast, but as soon as they grow up, the first thing they want to do is go back to being a kid. You like, damn, you know, because you got to do it. You got to grind, you know. That's what separates the doers from the do-nots. You feel me? Like, you got to... That day when you get up and you tired as fuck and you don't want to do shit and you still do it, that's what imprints you as, you know, doing what you got to do, being a man. You feel me?
100 for fucking saying. So we talked a little bit about you, about your upbringing, about the baby. So now I kind of want to, like, dive into the story. You know what I'm saying? So we know. So can you kind of, like, explain, like, what happened in the beginning? So. What caused the long-term prison term? What?
Okay, yeah.
Can you kind of bring me up to that day?
Yeah, so you know, like I was saying, I was my dad left and I was running the streets. You know, I got into gangbanging and gangbanging elevated to pistol popping, and so and I was, you know, I was abusing substances. You know, back in when I was a kid, you know, we was off the thizzles, we was off the triple stack Transformers. You feel me? Blue Dolphin. Okay, yeah. So we was $10 a motherfucking pop on that. So we was smacking. We was you know, it was the hyphy era. You know, motherfuckers was outside wild, and I was drinking all the time. So this night, I was already faded. I'm talking about drunk, bro. And I was going with the homie, or motherfucker, I thought I was the homie. We go to Food Max over there on Franklin and Florin, and we go to steal a bottle. But he's like, you already went, bro. Like, you know, let's go to a different store. That store is hot. Boom. So we end up going to fucking Safeway off 19th and S by the 16th Street light rail with the fucking Panda Express in it.
Yep.
Okay, so yeah, we on the light rail. We going over there. We light rail babies. You feel me? Back in that time, and I had a pistol on me, like I always do, and. But over there, you know, there ain't no neighborhoods. There ain't really nobody gangbanging like that. There ain't no spot. I run into a Southsider when I walk up. This motherfucker got a blue LA hat. You know, he all blued out, Dickies, Cortez. And I got red on. You know, I'm flamed up. And, you know, we see each other. He's with his family, too, right? I was always told, like, bro, if they with their family, you don't do nothing.
Yeah.
So I gave him the look. I let him know that I seen him, but I kept it pushing, and they was going to the Panda Express. They got two little kids with him, like probably 12 and 10, and then he got his girl with him and shit like that. You know, I ain't tripping. But as I'm walking away, the homie that I'm with, he taps my shoulder like, hey, you know, this motherfucker's still looking at you. So I look back, this motherfucker completely stopped. You know, he looking at me, you know, yeah, all that. So I'm like, what? He started banging on me, Southside fucker buster, this and that. You know, when we hear that word, bro, it's a rap. You feel me? We ain't playing that shit. So I start banging back on him and this and that. Try to walk away, because I'm like, bro, enjoy your time with your family. It's Black Friday, bro. November 26, 2010, bro. That's when this shit happened. It's around like 8 o'clock p.m. Anyways, try to walk away. He's still running his mouth. I turn around, I pull my gun out. I'm like, bro, showed it to him. I said, you don't want to, you know what I'm saying? Like, you don't want to do this. Go enjoy your fucking meal with your family. Try to walk away again. This motherfucker's like, oh, keep walking like the rest of you busters. Bro, come on, bro. I already told you twice, trying to give you a pass. I'm trying to be nice as fuck. Yeah. Boom, I start slamming at him. I hit him once. All the bullets that's bouncing around and shit, bullets went through the windows of the Panda Express. Unfortunately, I ended up hitting one of the little dudes they was with in the leg. I didn't even know that at the time, you feel me? Because I'm so drunk and I'm focused on this fool. I'm just blasting at him, but, you know, I'm 16, 100 pounds soaking wet. I got a 38 with brand new bullets in that motherfucker. That motherfucker barking. So, you know, them shots is bouncing all over, you feel me? So I ended up, unfortunately, hitting the little kid in the leg. So, boom. We took off running, but the Southsider, he dropped. I seen him drop. I thought I smoked him. But we take off running, you know what I'm saying? Dump my shells down the sewer, all that. Me and my homie, we end up splitting ways. But this motherfucker goes home and tells his mom I shot somebody. And, you know, when his mom asked where he was at, he said everything that happened. She calls the cops, and then 2 weeks later, the cops come and get me. And they're like,
talking about the homie you was with?
Yeah. Yes. And that was my bruh. Like, I'm talking about, you know, we was two little motherfuckers from the neighborhood coming up together, you feel me? So that was my boy. But I guess, you know, he didn't want to do that time. He wasn't ready for that. A lot of these motherfuckers out here, they talk this shit and they act like they with it until the shit hits the fan. Then you find out motherfuckers in that room telling.
Yeah, that's crazy.
But yeah, so his mom calls the cops. I mean, now that I look back, now that I'm a parent, now that I'm an adult, I mean, she did what she had to do for her son. You know, you ain't trying to have your kids gangbanging and all that shit. So yeah, to save her son, she fucking called the cops. And, you know, I was a motherfucking menace, bro. I didn't give a fuck. I was out here. I didn't care whether I lived or died, you know, because of the shit I was going through at home. Like, I didn't give a fuck. I didn't think about this. I could get smoked. I could smoke somebody, you know. I was just going. But yeah, bro, so he ended up telling on me. I get hemmed up for 2 attempted murders, 2 gang enhancements, 2 gun enhancements, 2 GBI enhancements.
What the fuck? Yeah, trying to wash you at that point.
Yeah, they had 50 to life. I was 16 years old, Kiefer Boulevard, youth detention facility.
So to ask my bad,
It's all good.
I want to get like, I want to kind of get more of it. So at 16, you caught the 2 attempted murders, the GBI, the gang enhancements. Bam. So you in Kiefer.
Yep.
At this point, juvenile hall.
Yep. December 7th, 2010.
So then you go into court, back and forth.
Yep.
At this point, what in your head was your thought process? So like, so if you're sitting down right now and you sitting in that chair looking at that judge and you with your attorney, at that moment, what were you feeling? Like, did you not like give a fuck about it, or did you like, nigga, fuck it, nigga, whatever I did, nigga, I did, and nigga, I'm gonna live with that, nigga?
Yeah, I mean both, cause you know I'm thinking about, damn, I just did some crazy shit, but also at that time when I was a teenager, my mind was made up. I wanted to be a gang member. This 100%. Is all I was doing. You feel me? I felt like I was, you know, a motherfucker that trains for the NFL. I was training for prison, training for gangbanging. You feel me? Like, you know, just a dumb motherfucker. But when I would go to court, I didn't give a fuck. I knew what I did. I blasted an op. You feel me? Like, you gangbanging, that's what you want to do. Fuck, I did my shit. I earned my stripes. So my real thought, every time I went to, a court date, I would just be like, please, God, don't let me get life. You know, just give me a shot of getting out.
So how because now I know it's different. So now I know if, let's say a motherfucker kill a motherfucker at 15, 14.
Yeah, they go through a whole,
they getting 4 to 5 years, they out at 21.
Yeah, they didn't play that shit with me.
So why was it a different rule back then? I know it was, you know, back then, was it Kamala Harris that was the DA?
I want to, if I'm not mistaken, that's who I always knew as around that time. If she wasn't the district attorney, she had a lot to do with how laws were made and all that shit.
I know I heard she was locking niggas up for marijuana for 10 years.
I'm telling you, it was so the way they had it back then, when I got locked up in 2010. If you were 14 years old and older and you did anything with a gun, automatic, they didn't have to ask no questions. Just because of your age and what you did and how they classify it, it's automatic adult case.
14?
So yes, I had homies in there. There was a little dude, he ended up being a rat, but there was some fool named Anderson. He was from G Parkway. And he came down on a big case with a lot of fucking codees, and he got caught up when he was 14, and they charged him for first-degree murder. He was on a murder case. Nah, he ended up telling and getting out, but you know they charged him as an adult.
He got out doing a murder?
Yeah.
And he told it.
Yeah, he told. I believe he's out right now.
What the?
Telling. Bit the cheese.
But how is that possible though? So
you gotta be a snitch to understand that shit.
That's crazy though. That's crazy. You said he did a murder and got off
Well, no, I'm not saying he did it. He just went down for a body. He had a bunch of codees, and he had like about 9 codees. Y'all watching this, y'all know who I'm talking about. All them codees, if you're around my age. But yeah, you know, he ended up being a rat later on. They found out, and I believe he's out now. And if he didn't get straight out, he did some time and got out. But you know, a lot of other motherfuckers is down because of that.
That's fucking crazy.
Yeah, but like I was saying, you know, we was young as fuck. I'm talking about, I didn't have a mustache. My voice wasn't fully.
I think I seen it. Was it the picture with the beanie on?
Yeah, no, that was already on a level 4.
That was already level 4?
Yeah, I was 18 right there. I was in Salinas Valley, B-Yard right there in that picture.
16 in Kiefer, you get sentenced at 17?
Yep, and the case took about a year.
So they gave you the when did you find out? So did you get out? Did you do the whole time?
No.
Or did you get out due to some law breaks?
Yeah. So the way it happened, right? So during this time, they were still harsh on everybody, harsh on kids. Like I said, the age group, automatic adult case. So I went to trial, got the 2 attempted murders dropped to lesser charges. I had attempted voluntary manslaughter and then assault with a deadly weapon. But they convicted me on everything, banged me on I had 2 gang enhancements, 2 gun enhancements, 2 GBI enhancements. So just for the actual crime, I only got 4 years.
For the shooting?
Yes. So for the attempted voluntary manslaughter, 3 years. Assault with a deadly weapon, 1 year. But the way they banged me, the way the laws were back then, because I was a gang member, because I, used a firearm, they added 26 years, 8 months of enhancements, which totaled my fucking, my total sentence to 30 years, 8 months, 2 strikes. And they sent me off. I was 17. Well, I had to wait because by the time I got sentenced, I was already like over 17 and a half. And the way the YA, the Youth Authority works, if you kind of too old, close to 18, and we already know you going to prison, we ain't even finna take you, because you're going to come here and go back and go to prison anyway. So they just going to let you wait until your 18th birthday. My 18th birthday in juvenile hall, I went to the county jail. That was my present.
Yeah, that's crazy. So now that you in now we're skipping to 18. Yeah. 18th birthday, you in Sacramento County?
Yeah. Sac County Jail, main jail. I was in 6 East 200 pod.
How long were you there for?
I was there for, so when I went there, right, because I didn't, you know, my case was completed and I was sentenced.
Yeah.
My bookie sheet only said prison hold, you know? They don't have no my charges or nothing. So when I go there, I'm basically a motherfucker who's just waiting on a bus to pull up. So, you know, they just housed me real quick. I think I did maybe like a week in the main jail, 6 East 200. Then they called my name on the speaker and was like, you going to RCCC. Boom, went to RCCC. I was in CBF 200 for like another little week. I had a, you know, older homie from my neighborhood game me up on what did I need to be gamed up on before going to prison. And boom, I caught a bus. So I was, man, I turned 18 September 27th, 2012. And by October 23rd, 2012, I was already in CDC.
Yeah.
I was in North Kern State Prison, reception, B yard.
Damn. So at that point, so this is 18 still, or this is 19?
18. And then, so I only did a couple months in that reception. Reception center, you just waiting to get your points to your counselor and find out what prison you're going to. So I got shipped, I had level 4 points at fresh 18, you feel me? So, and the bed space they had for me was in Salinas Valley State Prison, B yard. So I went there. So, and that was on January 2nd, 2013. So you got to think, within like maybe not even 6 months of me being 18, I'm on a level 4 main line. You know, and shit's cracking in that motherfucker.
Motherfucker was
shit is cracking.
So
in that
we go. That's what. So this is where I want to get into, because this is, like I said, I want people to, when they're watching this, I want them to know what THUMPZ went through.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
yeah.
That's my aspect, and then we're gonna transition into,
for sure,
you know, what's now and
what's trying to turn that into something.
Yeah, turn it into something, because we're not looking at what we want to look at now. Obviously,
yeah, this just
everything's a story leading up. It's leading up to everything.
Yeah.
So now you in there. Let's just say 19.
Yeah.
Now you 19 level 4 yard, or 18 level 4 yard.
Yeah.
What's cracking in there? Like, what's your typical lifestyle in there at this point?
It depends. You know, when I first got there, things weren't exactly cool yet. You know, now everything is supposed to be gravy in there. Ain't really no fun going on. But when I first got there, that shit was still going on. So the way I lived when I first got there, I had to adapt. You know, like I would say the first chapter of my story in prison, it would be called adapting, because you have to change, especially being that young. You know, when we come from the streets and shit like that, we ain't listening to teachers. We probably getting kicked out of school. We ain't listening to parents at home or any type of authority figures that was, you know, we talking shit to the cops and all this type of shit.
Yeah.
When you go in there, you gonna mind somebody. There's motherfuckers that you gotta listen to, whether you like it or not, or we'll escort you to another spot gently, nicely. You feel me? But nah, so I had to adapt. I was really a sponge. I had to soak up, because me going in there as who I went in there as and running who I ran with, you feel me? You got to treat every day like you got life in that motherfucker, because some shit could pop off and I could die, or I could kill somebody, a riot, you know, you never know.
Anything could happen.
So I had to really pay attention and understand how I had to move in there to be successful. And I say successful just being successful at surviving.
Yeah.
You know?
Okay, so now we in there, fucking, at this moment though, you in there, right? And in your brain, you got life.
Yeah, that's how
So
you got.
so in your brain, you got life.
Yeah. You gotta accept it, bro.
Yeah, you gotta. I know you was accepting it.
Yeah.
How like. I'm trying to
first heard that, how did you feel?
Yeah, like
when you first heard your sentence and you had to accept it, like what did you do to accept it and to keep living and motivating and not giving up on life?
Yeah, so this goes back to when I said every court date, all I would think about was, please don't give me life. Because, you know, although I felt like as soon as I got locked up, you know, a lot of shit started opening up and I started growing up little by little. So I started to see like, yeah, you know, I might be this and I might be trying to do this, but I still know how to be a good human being. I know that I'm not a horrible person, not an evil motherfucker, you know? I actually have a heart. I could just get heartless, you feel me? But so when I heard that sentence, actually, you know what's crazy is they actually sentenced me wrong at first. They said 32 years, and I had to come back like a couple days later, and they redid it. They said they miscalculated. But either way, I got 30 years, 8 months, but the final sentence was 30 years, 8 months. And honestly, I didn't cry. I didn't fucking, you know, I heard my sister was in the background. You know, my family was there supporting me. I heard my sister start crying, run out the courtroom. It was hella, you know, dramatic and shit. Everybody's gasping. But to me, honestly, it felt like a win. because I felt like my prayers were answered, because every time I was waiting for the verdict to come back and me get sentenced and all this type of shit, I would pray and tell God, look, I'm not gonna be one of these motherfuckers that ask you, hey, just please let me out today. I told him, I said, look, bro, you know, I try to talk to God like like he my boy. Yeah. And I told him, I said, look, bro, I know what I did. I know what I'm doing. I know where I'm at. I might have to get into some shit, but you know my heart. You know what I'm doing. I was like, look, man, just please don't give me life. And I promise you, when I get out, I'm gonna try to do some good in this motherfucker.
Hell yeah. So now that you in there, we in the sentence. How many years did you do in there fully? So you said you did 15?
No, I did 12. 12 total.
And when did you find out that your sentence was being reduced?
Man, so
I know that mother. We gotta hear about that. I want to hear it. Then we go. You know what I'm saying?
So I didn't know I was going home. I didn't have an appeal open, like nothing. I didn't have nothing going at the time where I got this. So there's somebody that he's real sharp with the law. And he just drafted up, I guess he was looking for laws that'll help me get out. And he drafted up what's called a habeas corpus. It's your last shot of appeals, because you get like 3 appeals. But once, if you get denied on all 3, you're pretty much a wrap. But there's a habeas corpus. It's like your last ditch effort. This fool, while I was sitting in the hole for attempted murder too. I ended up going to the hole for attempted murder, got into some shit on another yard, and I'm sitting down and I'm waiting on the DA to pick it up. And it's already, I'm in the hole for about maybe 7 months. And I'm sitting there, I'm taking a nap, and I get a sergeant that comes to my door with a paper, and they come and they deny the attempted murder. The DA didn't want to pick it up. And where I was at was a Fresno County DA. So they didn't pick it up. Long story short, I got kicked out the hole, but that person sent me that appeal in the mail, and he said, all you got to do is put your name on it, and I guarantee it'll get you out. And at this time, like I said, I didn't have no appeal going. I didn't have no hope. At this time, I'm doing dead time. I'm just waiting to go home, and if I ever go home. You feel me? So I wasn't thinking about shit. After you do so much time, you kind of lose touch with the streets. You ain't even tripping off going home. That's not even a thought, because there's so much politics. Yeah. So,
the world in there.
But I signed my name, sent it out, and a couple months later, I get called for legal mail. And I'm thinking, like, is this a mistake? Like, I don't got no legal shit going on. I didn't have kids at the time, didn't have no child support. So I go down there, I open the letter, and it says, your appeal has been accepted. This is your lawyer's name, and here's your court date.
Damn.
And I was like, no fucking way. And, I went through all the processes and all that, and I ended up getting, so COVID fucked it up. I would have been out a couple years before, but COVID fucked shit up. They were only doing Zoom court. There was no movement. You couldn't go to Sac County, because for me to go home, I had to go from prison back to Sac County. And because they changed my shit back into a juvenile case, so Prop 57 is what the law I got out on.
Oh, so the case, instead of being adult, it went back to juvenile court.
Yeah. So look, bro, I'm 27, 28 years old. I've already did all this time in prison. I'm I'm a fucking hardened motherfucker. And I go back to the county. I'm in 5 East 300 chilling. But every court date, I don't go to court downtown.
You go to Kiefer.
They go to, I'm at Kiefer. I'm back at whole full circle, bro. Started there and ended there.
What?
And I was going to court at Kiefer, and I was seeing all the fucking sheriffs that I knew from back then. And, motherfuckers was like, damn, you back? What happened? And I'm telling them, like, man, I'm going home. But, long story short, they sentenced me under that. They put me through the fitness hearing. And if you don't know what a fitness hearing is, basically it's like a person, like a psychiatrist or whoever is for kids. Mm-hmm. They go over, how you grew up, what you was going through. You tell your story about, growing up in the hood, and this is why you did what you did, and then you show what you was doing. Even though I was in there in prison, I got into some shit, man. I had classes. I was taking classes before they started giving time cuts and shit like that.
Mm-hmm.
I was bettering myself, just to do it.
Yeah.
Before I even thought about going home. You feel me? So all that on my record, that was like, you know what? They sentenced me to time served. After 12 years, they said, you know what? Time served, but you got to keep your 2 strikes, and you got to be on parole. I said, run it. I've never heard those words. This is the first time I ever been locked up doing this term. So I've literally never heard no words like, you're going home. You get to go home today. And to hear.
First time going to jail, you did 12 years?
Yup. The first time I ever went to jail, I got sentenced to 30 years, but I only did 12. Yeah, but I did a grip, bro. Yup.
Damn, that's crazy.
Yeah. So yeah, that law is what really brought me home.
And what was the law again?
Prop 57, Proposition 57. But that law encompassed a lot of things, but there's like a portion in there that has to do with juveniles and that shit, along with a lot of other good motherfuckers that was in the pen. You know, there's a lot of us that are out. I run into a lot of my homies that, you know, they had hella time and we was in juvenile hall together and they're out now on that same law. You feel me? So
that's what's up. That's good. So now let's talk about, so after you got out, what did prison do for you as an individual? Like, what did it bring you out to be? So now that you came out, like, did it like help you become a better man?
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? What things now are you doing different before you went in? Obviously you were young.
Yeah.
But now what did you bring out of prison that you use in a daily life, if there's any?
Well, you know, I know how to practice restraint. You know, when I was a kid, I was, you know, a hothead. I didn't give a fuck. I was flying off the handle. But prison taught me there's a time and place for that. But you got to be professional. You know, you got to have professionalism. You got to be presentable. There's shit we got to handle, bro.
Yeah.
You know, although motherfuckers think people go to prison and come out worse, like, man, there's a group of individuals in there. If you run into them, man, you'll get educated, bro, on how to be a man. Like, I didn't have a dad, right?
Yeah.
But I consider certain individuals that I ran with in there and that I talked to, older motherfuckers, that's like my dad right there. You know, that's who I turned to when I needed advice. And not just advice on street shit, you know, advice on when I get out here, how to run my credit up, how to, you know, start a business, you know, LLC, all type of shit like that. But, you know, me helping my anger out, being out here and being able to also like converse and network with different individuals from different walks of life. You know, I know how to talk to a motherfucker that's from the hood for sure. Because, you know, we could relate. I could relate to a motherfucker like that. But I could also, you know, I be doing it all the time when I'm at the gym. I'll holler at, you know, somebody would come up to me, an old lady, like the other day, she was about maybe 70 something. You know, old Asian lady, she's at the gym trying to just work out. And I'm sitting there talking to her for like 20 minutes about working out and shit like that. And I didn't get no weird vibe, no nothing. You know, I know how to, I got good PR skills. And I just understand that there's a job to be done out here. You know, it's up to motherfuckers like me that have been through shit, hardship, that all these kids out here that they're, you know, they want to be J-Bo and they want to fucking be a rapper and catch 10 bodies. Like, nah, we are what you are gonna be, you know? Yeah. Like, the shit I went through, if you really out here popping shit, that's the time you gonna do. Yeah. You at least gonna touch prison. So I'm out here to tell people, you don't gotta go that route, bro. It ain't about that no more. You could, you know, just how I started my Instagram, TikTok, and, you know, YouTube, you can make money like that, be your own boss, you feel me? So I just feel like I picked up some knowledge in there that I like to pass on to the young life.
Hell yeah. So I got a few more questions. So we've seen that you gained some traction on social media and TikTok, Instagram, blase.
Hell yeah.
How has that felt for you, and what has it brung, like, people around you that you never thought it would?
Oh, for sure. You know, I don't like to consider myself, you know, none of that. I'm not nobody, but I appreciate everybody who rocks with Thump, who, you know, follows me and the fans and all that. But since I've seen the growth of my followers and all that and my platforms, man, I feel like, you know, I get all the time that I'm motivating, you know, I'm inspiring people. So I feel like it's my duty now. Yeah. You feel me? I owe it to my fans, my followers to, you know, show them how to be fit, or, you know, just be somebody that, you know, when they had a long day, they can come fuck with my TikTok and, you know, laugh or learn some you know, workouts and shit like that. You feel me? But, and then just to see, you know, the people that I've watched on TV, you know, rappers and, you know, the homie Big Tone, shout out Big Tone, you know, Rico Too Smooth, all the homies that, you know, I kick it with and I'm at events with. I wouldn't have done that, you know, without my platform, you know, jumping up and shit. So it's just cool to get around. You know, I've been around RBL Posse. I met Jay Stalin. You know, I was kicking it at the bar with San Quentin, shit like that. You know, that shit. I told them, bro, you were my high school, you know, playlist. You feel me? Like, I grew up on Jay Stalin, Livewire, and all that type of shit. So, you know, it's just dope to see, bro.
Yeah, it's crazy. And then, yeah, man, I'm glad that we got to put this interview together.
Hell yeah.
So at this moment of time, how do you feel about life and what's next for you and the brand? Would you want to call it THUMPZ brand?
I would like to call it that.
All right.
I would like to try to get to that. You feel me?
Hell yeah.
But, you know, the way I feel about life, I'm loving life right now, man. You know, I wake up and I do what I want to do for work. You feel me? Like, you know, I'm trying to be my own boss. You know, I got a baby girl. I got my girl by my side, supporting me, you know, trying to help me out with my business too. So, man, I'm just feeling good, you know, family's doing good and shit like that. I'm out, I'm free. You feel me? I'm thankful. And then, you know, what's coming next? I'm trying to get it, you know, right now I'm on the search for 4 people that's ready to get on this fitness hype and join the THUMPZ, you know, the THUMPZ army. You feel me? So what's next for me? I'm trying to have my clients, you know, get the ball rolling and have some solid team members so I could get this fitness going, and then, you know, just have my merch keep growing, get my online store cracking, and hopefully one day, man, I'm trying to get a spot to where I could have like a gym and somewhat of a skate park and just like a place where people could come, you know, we could shoot podcasts. We got, you know, for like my little cousin trying to be a barber, we got a barber chair, you know, young life that want to come through and skate, get off the streets or something, you know, come listen to some game or just, you know, just have a spot where motherfuckers could kick it. That's what I'm working on. I don't know what to call it. Maybe the THUMPZ Lounge or something like that.
THUMPZ Lounge, yeah. That's tight, because, and I think I forgot to ask you because we've been getting in deep, and like I said, I wrote down hella shit, but everything I asked was off the top, so that way it felt more authentic. You know what I'm saying?
I know, my bad too, bro. I know you wanted to go through the thing, but
better like that,
yeah,
though,
yeah.
Like I told everybody when I first started, bro, I swear to God, no cap, bro. When I first started shit 2 months ago, it was just I was in the shower, bro. I'm like, I'm on my way to work. Mind you, I work like crazy, so I'm like, look, I gotta do something, like, you know what I'm saying? So in my head, I'm like, bro, I'm gonna start a podcast. Mind you, I had 2 iPhones. I'm just off the couch with it in my own apartment, and now it's like I've leveled up.
Yeah, you seen it grow, huh?
I'm growing, so I see potential, but I have to keep pushing. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. It's a forever grind.
Yeah, it's a forever grind. You know what I'm saying?
Even the richest motherfuckers, I bet they want more money.
100%.
I bet they wish they would have invested here, invested there. I'm telling you, it don't stop.
So, like I said, like my first month in it, I did over 100,000 views.
That's
this year, and that was only 4 videos.
Hell yeah!
So
that's good.
So I'm trying to this year, 2026. I'm trying to progress. I'm trying to make this into a brand. I'm trying to make this into a company. You know what I'm saying? Because here in SAC, we don't got nothing.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? And everybody be like, oh, we helping us. Dang, come on, let's be real. Not a lot of people helping. But to each his own. Everybody's not meant to help.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Everybody got to play a position in life. You get what I'm saying? So
yeah, that's why, you know, when you asked me to come on, I was like, man, I've you know, I don't have no problem with doing no type of podcast. I ain't never asked for no money, you know, and I ain't never asked nobody to do no podcast. But when people ask, I'll do it. No matter if you're, you know, got a big name or you just starting out, you trying to grow, you feel me? Like, I'm into helping, you know, if I could come up and help you come up, bro, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm trying to see motherfuckers shine, you feel me? So, yeah, you already know. You want me to come on here again, we can get it cracking again,
we're going to get it cracking again for sure, because I like to set stones, even though my bro the first one I podcast.
Yeah.
And now he like, nigga, you was in your living room couch, nigga. I need to go to your podcast area. You know what I'm saying? But this too, I like this too. Now that this is my first one outside. Yeah. Because this is more authentic to me. This is like, all right, when we outside, we stepping, we walking, we get our steps in, we congregating. You get what I'm saying?
Man, so, I was thinking about bringing it back with too, but I didn't know if you could smoke.
Nah, you can do whatever, man.
So
you can,
I left it in the car.
Like I said, you can do whatever.
But nah, I like this too, man. You know, I've been in podcasts where it's, you know, sitting down in a chair in the studio, but this one right here, like you said, that's just more authentic.
Yeah, I'm right here where you say you work out at, right?
Yeah, for real. So people that's watching this right now, you know I'll be right here. I did some tricks off here.
I'm at the home field.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Field advantage right here. Next time I'm gonna come to your spot for sure. Hey man, look, the only reason why we out here right now, I had some last minute shit. I got to shoot out to LA, so man, we made it.
One bonus question.
We made it happen. Yeah, what's happening?
My bonus question is when you was getting sentenced and you was praying to God, man, don't give me life, just don't give me life, and I'm gonna get out here and I'm gonna do something good. Yeah. Do you feel like now you're answering your question back to God since He answered your prayer and got you out? Yeah. Now you answering for Him or what?
Yes. Yeah. I feel like you know, I feel like He's looking down like, man, this motherfucker did tell me, and you know, even though He made me wait, I feel like I needed to wait. I wasn't ready yet. I needed to be sharpened and seasoned enough to come out here with the right mind to fulfill what I told Him to do, or that I was gonna do. You know. Yeah. So yeah, I feel like I'm doing it. I feel like I haven't completed it. I don't think I'll ever complete it, but I feel like as long as I'm doing it and I'm out here trying to help people in any way I can, you know, I feel like He gonna be like, you know what? You kept your word with me.
Nah, hell yeah. When you was telling your story, bro, that's all I was thinking about.
Yeah. Hey, I'm telling you, bro, like, and I didn't want to be selfish, because I know He knows. Like, he knows when motherfuckers pray and they're trying to really get over, they just trying to pray. But, you know, I told him I don't want to be released today. I'm not asking to get out today. You know, I know I'm going to have to do some time, and whatever comes with that time. I used to tell him, too, before I stepped out the cell, I would tell him, look, I know I got to go out here. I know I might get stabbed. I know some shit might get, you know, if a riot pops off, I know I might get stabbed. Please, God, just don't let me die in here. Let me die out here, you know. Let me be a free man and die. I don't want to die in here. Yeah. And he you know, he kept that one too.
Hell yeah, because I was in a similar situation, right? So I was out there wilding and shit, right? I went down actually in Salinas. Okay. They tried to give me 18 years, and I was just praying like, man, if I get out, if I don't get caught with this time, man, I'm gonna do something different. I'm gonna do something different.
Exactly.
Nigga, I did fucking about 2 months and got out, nigga. And I was like, hell yeah.
And never forget so that, you know?
That's what really rung a bell in my head when you said that.
Hell yeah, hell yeah, you know what time it is.
Hell yeah. So like I said, man, I appreciate you. I got to rock with THUMPZ, man.
Hell yeah, you already know you rocking with THUMPZ. I appreciate you for having me on, man. Make sure y'all tune into this.
Tune in, man. Like I said, we got more interviews coming. I gotta get THUMPZ back on. I'm gonna try to get him back on probably like let's say like 6 months from now. You know what I'm saying? We're gonna see where we at.
Yeah, we're gonna see the progression.
We're gonna see the progression. The video gonna be dropping on YouTube. I'm gonna put all his tags. Probably gonna be underneath the video anyways. You follow him on Instagram, follow him on TikTok. Shit, you better get down and watch him on TikTok and get down and bust with him. You know what I'm saying?
Burpee, counts, all that.
I gotta try one. When I get down there with all the.
Look, the next one we're gonna try some burpees out in 6 months. This is your time right now to get ready. 6 months from now, we're gonna do some burpees on the next podcast.
So we go bust down with him, you know what I'm saying? I appreciate y'all for watching, man. Follow us on Instagram, Pennies to Plenties. We ain't got a TikTok yet. We're gonna make one, but yeah, keep showing us love. Appreciate y'all.